Boys, welcome. And I'm here with my co-host,
Jabrae Brayboy, living wealthy always.
and look, Jabrae, we are picking up from where we left off the last time.
Exactly.
Wow. Let me tell you, I went back and I looked at our conversation and it was powerful. Last where we left off, we were talking about your book. And we were talking about it being a play and a movie. And I think I'd let you go on the fact that you were going to explain to me why men cheat. I'm going to let you explain because I told you I'd let you off the hook then, but I want you to explain.
Well, a lot of men have different desires, if you will.
Okay.
And with those desires, they want the wife or the girlfriend to stay just what they are, that title. They don't want the porno star. They don't want the freak all the time. They want a little bit of disconnection. So when you are able to go to a strip club or go get someone that's a stranger, be it someone that's a call girl, if you will, or prostitution, they can totally just pay them and it's a wrap. It's over. There's no connection. They can get what they want and it's over. If you have a relationship, you have to constantly see that person, argue with them, and sometimes that's a turnoff. Because sometimes when you get turned off from a bad conversation, you get turned off from a argument, and now it's not the same. You don't want to
Hold it, Jay.
go
Hold
all
it,
the way.
hold it.
I'm serious.
No, listen. My question to you was, why do men cheat? You talk about
I'm
call
trying
girls.
to break it down.
No, I'm talking about if my man is with, or somebody's man is with a call girl,
Okay.
I don't even think they're going to look at it in the same way as if he's with another woman where he's committing his heart, soul, and spirit. Because we understand what a call girl is. We understand what a prostitute is. But when as a matter of fact, someone would probably rather a man do that than actually just getting involved physically and mentally with another woman. Because the physical with the call girl is different. He's not bringing his mind and his spirit and his body. But when he's in a relationship with another woman where he's going out on you, where he's spending his time at her house, taking her to the movies, taking her out, maybe introducing her to friends and family members, that's a whole different situation.
Now, you're right. They don't share their soul and spirit with that other individual. They share that with you. But they do take their mind because their imagination, their fantasies are being pleasured. Their desires are being satisfied, if you will. And that's what happens. They go out and they satisfy all these things on their mind. Everything they visualize with porno, everything they visualize at the strip club, everything their buddies were talking about. Their wife, man, my wife does this, man, and she flips it over, and you're like, wow, she flips it over. Well, how does she do that? Well, your wife can't do that, man. No disrespect, and all these different things. So if your wife can't do these things, they go get the girl. It's kind of like fitness. Fitness, watch this. DVDs and fitness, they don't show the people who are really, really in the magazines to get you, to coerce you to come get a membership. They show the people in the magazines that are all sprayed up, they're glossy, and they're all tanned and everything else to make you want to be like them. So that's the whole thing is we're sitting up here, and that's why a lot of men, they get memberships so they can get away. They want to get away from the home, the cloths, and the wife curving all the way up everything. And the wife may have a beautiful body, but she wasn't sure all that. So go to the gym, you got spandex, you got all these different things with cleavage and sweat, the energy, the testosterone. That's what's going on.
Okay. All right. Listen. I'm not quite satisfied with your answer. I must say.
There's much more, though. There's much more,
Okay.
So there's no one answer. There's no.
Well, that's true.
There's a lot of different scenarios. That's why we have psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, marriage counselors. I mean, it's so many different people that are licensed that people are going to see to try to fix their relationships.
You and I last spoke about the book A Man's Sex Drive. I know that you've been doing a bunch of other stuff since then because, look, you're not taking this lightly. You're moving on this and going to the next level. What has happened since you and I spoke?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. For the last 3 weeks, it has been crazy. It's been a blessing, totally a blessing. I've made a lot of different business relationships. I've had a lot of meetings with different producers, directors, investors, if you will, post production individuals, and they just love all my scripts. And I have a lot of them. Of course, my feature film. Of course, I'm in Sex Drive, the series that could also be a feature film. It could be a movie. All my different reality shows, my documentaries. I just made sure that I came down here with an arsenal of 18 projects.
Wow.
And it's working out because I can just lay it out like it's a menu. And those people who have certain relationships with certain networks, they can sit up here and dial them up. And dial them up. I got something. I finally got something. This guy, he got a bunch of different stuff. He has this stuff called Cheated and Cheated On and all this stuff. And so it's with what I did was I checked the climate first, the atmosphere, and I made sure that I had things out of the content that is relevant to what's going on right now. And I really I'm really enjoying it down here because being black down here as well. When you are a good or a great writer with good content, then people empower you, and they surround you and protect you, I've enjoyed it. It's been very fast. I mean, ever since I met you, and we've had our escapades and everything else. There's a lot of other ventures that are going on as well on other contents and other areas of people's circle.
Ready to move forward, just like we're ready to move forward here on Living Wealthy Always, because we've done a few shows since we've started together. For example, we met with young lady for Ebola.
Exactly.
Miss Claudine Gallagher.
Exactly.
Her story, that's just, that blew you out of the waters. I mean, literally. When you think about the fact that she had a dream, woke up, had a dream, put it to pen and paper, and today, literally, the things that you dreamt about is coming to life.
Yeah, she was very, very, very brave.
Yeah.
With coming out with her story as well as doing interviews.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people who want to threaten people who are outspoken or start a movement, if you will, about any type of subject matter or any concepts, any beliefs, like you said.
Yes.
I wish her well. She's in my prayers with that. And anyone else, too, that have been infected and are sick, or those who have lost loved ones and those who have died and everything, rest in peace with that, because, all these different viruses and diseases out there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's blessed to just sit here and be healthy.
You're certainly right. With that in mind, let's take a look. We talked quite a bit with her. Let's take a look at what we discussed with her. And Claudine, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Listen, you are somebody that we've been waiting to talk to.
Well, I'm privileged to be on the show.
Yes. And look, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time out, because I know that you have a busy schedule. And you and I had spoken before about this Ebola situation.
Yeah.
I want you to tell everybody about your vision, who you are, and give us a little bit of information, insight into Claudine Gallagher.
Okay. Well, as she already said, I'm Claudine Gallagher, and I grew up in a military home, and then eventually I went military myself. I've been in for 10 years. I was enlisted and then became an officer. But at a very young age, I've always wanted to be in front of the cameras, and I knew God had a calling on my life.
Okay, you're 16 years of age.
Yes.
You have a vision.
Yes.
Do you know, is the word Ebola used? Or was that something you figured out afterwards?
It was something I figured out afterwards. From the dream, it was so vivid, but I didn't know quite what I was being shown. So God said, do your research, get online and find what I'm trying to show you, because I didn't understand. First of all, I didn't know I even had the gift of prophecy, so that was confusing in itself. But when I saw the word Ebola, I knew that was the blood disease that was being shown to me in the dream.
And this was at age 16.
Age 16.
Did your research and found that it was Ebola?
Yeah, everything was started at 16, and the main part was all written at that year. And then throughout the years, things were added, other visions came into play, and that's why it was taking so long to manifest. Things were added on, and then as we were talking during the break, I was given different visions that had nothing to do with Ebola, and that's when I had a moment of, wait a second, what's going on here? Why are all my dreams actually happening? And then someone came and told me, well, you have the gift of prophecy.
A prophecy.
Now you say that you had these dreams when you were basically a minor.
were there any fears to why you did not come out? Of course, there's not an understanding because you're young and you don't understand them. But did you seek help from a professional to help decipher these dreams and break them down? You know, maybe a psychologist or counseling or anything like that?
Not really.
Not initially?
Not initially. I did with the one dream. We actually got free counseling. That was, and I think it's okay to talk about it, but I had a vision about where I worked, a corporate place. I don't want to say the name. But I had a vision that we were going to get held up. And my dreams are always like slightly off, but they're, for the most part, pretty much on point. You know, the main concept is there. And I was really nervous, and I told people. And the first reaction was like, you're crazy. Like, you know, so it's like, you can't really tell people ahead of time because then
They don't understand.
Exactly. And I was telling people about this prior, but people just didn't know in a big, you know, big amount of people. So even now with it happening, people still think I'm crazy. And I'm like, how am I crazy when it's literally happening? And for the most part, the details are pretty much there. It's not going to be right on point. And I even told people it's not going to be exact detail. But the concept of that, I said it was going to come to America, you know, the missionary, it starts off with the missionary trip, and then it's a missionary doctor that comes back and gets cured, stuff like that. But going back to what I was saying before, the robbery, the vision of the robbery, and then 2 months later, we actually had a holdup and 2 people got shot. And I was panicking like no other, and
So
I got help that day.
It was emotional. So
Very
there are
emotional.
emotions tied to these dreams when you're awake and you try to decipher them. So it's not just you sit up there and it's just a dream, you know, and everything. It is emotional for you.
Yes, and it feels very, very real.
And all with that being said, throughout the years, you've had many visions, which brought you to the fact that now you're looking to write a movie about this. And we don't want to get into that because we want to focus primarily, it was your visions that you had, and because you had several visions throughout the years, that's when you knew at this point, you have the capability of discernment. You can see, you have visions, and you do see things, and because Ebola is such a major thing and a major issue, life-threatening. In some cases today now, we're seeing a positive results with the young lady that actually has been let go from the hospital, somebody's been cured. But the major thing is, you've seen this vision with Ebola. When did you start putting it to pen and paper?
Oh, the same year I got the vision. I wrote it at 16, and but then throughout the years I continued to add to it.
Okay, and at this point, you had it copywritten, you had done all of that. So basically what you're saying is you had the vision, you had everything set in place, then you went to creating what you're trying to do now, which is the movie.
Yes, because the next prayer was actually, okay, God, how do I show the people? Because not everyone watches the news. Not everyone wants to watch the news. And even if they do, sometimes it won't even stick what they learned or heard. So I said, how can I be most effective to get the message across in a powerful way? And he said, music and entertainment.
Right.
And that's where I knew that was my strong point, because I'm very good at telling stories in a powerful way.
Good. And because one of your desires as well was to be in entertainment.
Yes, and I have my degree.
And you do have it in communications?
Yes.
Fantastic. So now you put it to paper, and the entire purpose for this is people are going to go to the movies, and you can get that word out to them through the movies, as so many people has done before.
Yes.
With various, okay, good.
I would like to give this advice to you. Make sure that you make that. You don't have to show and boast all your documents, that's your business. But make sure that you know your documentation. You know all of the serial numbers and everything else, that you can sit here and say, you know what, Article 24-15 or whatever it may be. Listen, I started this in 2012. It takes 6 months to a year to get this back. Yes. So way before 2013, this thing, yes, it was Ebola. Ebola's been around. But in America,
Yes.
you have to make it clear that you didn't have a dream of in another continent. You had a dream of it
America.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, really try to detail so no one attacks you with your belief and your vision. Because just like Juneann and myself here, we have visions as well. And you need to really support, back, documentation, your vision. Dates, your vision. Stamps, seals, your vision. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, really back it. And your body language, be strong with it behind what you're speaking on, especially when you talk about Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because we all have different beliefs.
And with that being said, you are a Christian.
Yes.
That is established.
Yes.
And when you are speaking to people about Ebola and the word that you're bringing about Jesus Christ, you're spreading a word at the same time while you're talking about this disease.
Yes.
The two are different.
Yes.
Good, because Ebola is a blood disease. Go ahead.
Yes. I made it into a parable.
Yes.
To show the differences. This is a blood disease, and Jesus Christ came and shed his blood. So it shows the different storylines, but within the same. But there's a cure for Ebola, and that's already been proven. And there's a cure for sin, which is Jesus Christ. To show people you really need to know where you stand. When the time comes, will you be ready? Because it doesn't matter what you think about, these Christians here, these Christians there. At Judgment Day, it's going to be between you and God.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You said time. Let's go back on time. The new millennium came in, right? When the new millennium came in, we were all scared because we thought it was the time, didn't we? Okay? Now, we thought we were going to lose computers and all types of stuff, but it had nothing to do with disease.
But if you go back to Scripture, if you really look into Scripture, it says no one knows the time, not even Jesus Christ. Only the Father knows the exact
time on the
moment.
season. Yes.
So, if you truly know who you are in Christ, you weren't scared of that because you're just like, no, because you're not supposed to know the time. And I knew that, but a lot of people were freaking out and going and doing all this extra stuff and wasting all this extra energy and buying into everybody's schemes to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
now to cut you, what's to stop them from saying the same thing about you? About you starting a hype? That this is a hype from you, and you're saying, okay, they did that. What is to stop somebody from saying that?
But I'm not trying to scare anybody. The main message is to show people where do you stand with God, and that he showed me that this tragedy was going to take place. He showed me, this is the beginning of the 14th year, so he showed me 14 years ago this vision. So it's not to scare anybody, and I'm not trying to do that whatsoever, but to show you that God will, if you ask God to do something, he will do it. And he will see you through it. And I know people are going to come and attack me. And will I always be ready? I don't think so. Because I actually had someone come up to me, and it was actually a prophet, said, you will not be able to be completely prepared for everything, but God will get you through it.
Now that's attacking you just with questions, right?
Yeah, just questions.
Okay.
And I'm sure other things too as well.
Okay. Well, look. We're very proud of you. We're thankful for you for coming on the show.
Very brave.
It is very much a brave thing that you're doing, and it shows your confidence in what it is that you're doing. Your strong belief in what it is you're doing. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't have you on this show. So I want you to know that. The mere fact that one particular quick question before we get off. This entire thing hinges on the spiritual belief or just the actual belief that there's a cure in here. So give me a wrap up of what this covers.
It's a faith-based film.
Right.
It's made into a parable because Jesus used parables to get the point across. You can't reach someone on a spiritual level if they're only seeing in the carnal vision. So you explain a modern day story that they can see, and then you explain the spiritual side of it. So you make it into a parable, and that's what God showed me to do. And so he showed me the vision of Ebola breaking out, and that would be the carnal state, but then show the spiritual side of it. So it is a faith-based film. The main message is to get across, where do you stand with Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? Whether you believe that he's real or not, at the end of the day, every knee will bow. And I am here, I know that God's going to make this happen, because in that moment of spotlight, it's going to be all about him and not about me. I'm not the star. I'm just the vessel that God is using to shine his bright light through me.
And the end result is to get the word out that God is real,
Yes.
okay? That people had better start believing, and that Ebola is real,
Yeah.
that this is a virus that is going to spread, and it's going to become an epidemic.
I believe so.
Okay, good. And so people have better
And
take heed.
and I wrote in the movie that from the dream that it comes to America, which it already has happened, and that it spreads. But then towards the end, the girl in the vision, which I believe is me in the vision, she freaks out and wakes up. But it wasn't over. It left me standing of, was she infected or not?
Well,
So
we
I
don't want to give that part away. So because we want them to go to the movie. So even though the epidemic is coming, they're finding the cure. Now, whether or not more people are going to be cured by it, we don't know. But as of now, this is the fact that, just as Jabrae said, this was done since 2012. Originally, Ebola was put together before this epidemic hit the United States, or that is about to hit the United States, thus proving that you did have a vision, and that's one of the things we want to clarify with you today. So I think it's so powerful. Thank you so much for being on the show today with us.
Thank you so much.
One of the things we want to do is, how can people get a hold of you?
They can go to my website at claudinemarieproduction.com. That's CLAUDINE, marieproduction.com.
Okay. And look, that was so much powerful information. But look, Jabrae, you know that you and I, this show, I can feel what's going to happen here. We're going to take this to the next level. And I'm going to say to you guys, stay tuned and keep watching us, because we have some powerful information to bring to you. We're going to be traveling with the show, going places with the show as well. So look, we're going to be doing it. Yes.
I'm excited. Just stay tuned, because we got a lot coming your way.
Yes, we certainly do. And look, you can reach us on Facebook and on Twitter. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, and you can like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitter. And please subscribe to our channel and give us your comments as well. Let us know what's going on. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear us talk about? We want to know that sort of thing. So for that said, and remember, living wealthy always is a mindset. See you later.
All right.
Hi, this is Juneann Lewis with Living Wealthy Always. Welcome. And I'm here with my co-host.
I thought you weren't going to pan.